I don't believe I've ever been a DEI hire.
Just getting out of hot water, making it to the hot take. I'm not even. The reason I tagged is because I actually agree with this take. I think this is a solid take. If you missed go watch the whole thing. But essentially, what he's getting at is he's saying that being black has never kept him from a job. And I think I'll add more context to it as a person who was in the tech, transitioning into tech from like all sorts of work. I say being black has never kept me from a job that I have ever wanted.
I can pause it because honestly, you can never. It ain't the 1950s and 40s and stuff no more. So you really can't prove that.
Yeah.
That kept you from a job. It's only a unspoken knowing or feeling just based on when you just look at sometimes how these companies are mapped out and the culture and what they hire and what everything says about you sometimes. And sometimes you get there and then you realize why you're the only person there. So I'll just interject with that right there. It's like you can't definitely just say, hey,
it's not easy to pinpoint and be like, oh, you know.
And nobody's gonna ever admit to that because they know they're gonna get sued.
That part.
Like, I think I've always any job that I've ever been at, if you were to check any of my references, like if you're a future employer or whoever, none of those employers can say that I didn't do my job. I didn't do my job really well, and I did not collaborate with others in the process. And I think that is what you like. That is the confidence that you need to take into the job market. I do not think that it's going to be helpful if we're stuck on the narrative of they're trying to keep black people out of the workplace. It's just not helpful. It's just not going to do anything for you. Now, is there prejudice? Of course. Are there microaggressions? Yes. Especially in these spaces where there are not a lot of black people. But when we're talking about on the way in, like you get in that role, nothing is going to make up for you not knowing your stuff. You know what I mean? It's going to make up for you not knowing the fundamentals of whatever, if this is tech or whatever role you're trying to break into. Because like the reason I walk into like these interviews and stuff like that with confidence is because I know my stuff. Whether somebody chooses to be prejudiced, racist, or otherwise biased or otherwise, I can't control that anyways. Like, I can't control that. Now, if I'm in the role, if I get like let go or fired on the basis of my race or my gender or something like that, I'm suing.
Facts. But that's the thing though. It's gonna be. I think it was a stat. It was like I know the big thing about it's been like, you know, black women have been losing their jobs, but also I think like 500,000 black men lost their jobs too, and I think either 2026 or in the last couple of months. So those are trends that you can't ignore. You really can't. Let's see this before we pause this. He says, I looked at the company's LinkedIn profile and looked at the different ethnicities. There we go. And that one's got me. Employees who work there to get a general feel for my chances sometimes. Now, I do that all the time. I go exactly to who I may be working with and like, I don't know. Like, they may call me. Let me see. But let's let them finish. You know, my boys walking through the house, doing everything, keeping your attention.
I am suing. I am a proud proponent of getting them lawyers involved. Y'all get y'all cut, I get my cut. I'm leaving with 40, 50 grand, right? Like if I had an option to do that. However, it will never be on the basis of I just wasn't a good worker. And if it is, then that is more indicative to me, and maybe I shouldn't have took the role in the first place, right? So, yeah, no, I agree with this take. I think, for me, being black has never kept me out of a job that I've ever wanted. I believe that I have experienced bias, prejudice in the interview process. Yeah, of course. I just had a role where the person that interviewed me, or like one of the heads of the department for this IM role, pretty much said that, oh, well, his answers weren't concise. and we finished with 15 minutes of time during the interview. That's what they told the recruiter I was working with. So, like, and so it's strange. I'm like, oh, I didn't even get to the technical bit. This wasn't even like my technical ability wasn't even assessed.
Man, me and Marquise was talking about this today. I was talking about how, hey, if I got Indian followers, I'm sorry, but y'all sabotaged a couple of my interviews before. Well, I got denied, and I asked the recruiter for feedback. It was like, yeah, they said some. I was like, fam, they talked. We had 30 minutes. They talked about the role for about 25 minutes. I only had about 5 minutes to talk. I couldn't even tell them nothing I could do. On top of, they couldn't really hear me. I couldn't hear them. I will never wake up before day again to interview with nobody.
Because they on a whole different time zone. It's nighttime.
They BS'd it for like whatever. Because Marquise was telling me about a situation how when we had our last episode, how my client said the recruiter was trying to talk him out of the role. He said that happened to me. He was like, fam, why would y'all call me and try to talk me out the role? And I definitely got the experience to do this. So he definitely right. Sometimes they be on their bull. Like they can never just say, hey, we got somebody else in mind. It's got to be some BS. His answers wasn't. What you mean? I had somewhere they was like, it was like, oh, he had the technical skills, but he didn't show the leadership experience. What do you mean? I literally told you what my team was doing in these things. Like I'm leading the team, and this is what I'm delegating for them to do. So I was like, y'all just, I don't know. Y'all just didn't want me. It's cool. And I'm cool with that. You can't be for everybody.
I got I get some questions that are a little bizarre, but I feel like this is a good moment to bring them up. So like one of the questions that people literally DM me and ask me is, do you take your nose rings out when you talk to customers? Do you look like that when you talk to customers? This is Shorty. This is Shorty at work. This is Shorty outside of work. I look exactly like this. I don't cut the nails down. I don't take my nose ring out. I don't nose rings. Like I don't think about them as pieces of me. This is who I am. So first of all, when I got the question, I was like, I never even thought about it. I don't think about it. It's just like asking somebody like, I don't know. It's so a part of who I am. I don't even think about altering it in any way, shape, or form, whether that's for an interview or speaking with a customer. Like I show up as me. Obviously, depending on the circumstance, the dress, the style, the level might change, but I literally show up like this. Yeah. So for
they said that was a discriminatory question that they asked you.
But I don't think it's a lot of women though. It's a lot of women who I think that they're scared to show up as themselves. It's not necessarily like people that don't look like me that are asking me. It's people who look just like me who are scared to show up as themselves on a day-to-day basis.
That's funny because Cybershortiee she was talking about DeJuan Lightfoot, and she was like, oh yeah, shout out to him. He made it from the hood. He tatted up, whatever. And she was talking about how she was talking to one of her friends thinking about she was going to remove her tats. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to keep him. I mean, I didn't finish the whole video, but I think people do worry about a certain look. Like, I don't know. I really had never been too much into, I think I would have got tats. Like my thing always was, I was the youngest out of my two cousins. So everything I wanted to do, sometimes they did before me. So now I never felt like you want to be like them.
Yeah.
So like, I never really cared for earrings, but I did want to get tats. And I was like, I don't want to get tats no more. I'm just going to be clean cut. Yeah. And yeah.
But I do think it's a fair question for people who are not already in the field and people who are not corporate. They do have.
I think a better question actually was like when you was interviewing, like, what you do.
When I was younger, I probably would have had some of those questions. So it's not like I'm taking offense to it. I'm just here to clear the air. Shorty, do not think about none of that ever on a date.
Yeah.
I never
but that's another,
think about it.
Like, I don't think we're going to get into the soft skills articles. And then we'll probably just put them on for another episode because it's really going to be good. But it's also going to be like an episode where we talk about like playing a game.
Like a game or the game?
Like the game. Like it was a TikTok or something where I don't know what she does. I don't know if she's a lawyer or something, but she was like, corporate politics is politics. But if you don't learn the politics, it'll politic you, whatever. So you got to learn the game.
Yeah.
But even a thing of like, some guys could be extraordinary and they can get jobs with their locks, whatever. Or you don't, or trying to figure out like, do you get in and then grow your locks?
Let me be honest though. When my hair, when I need a retwist, that will stress me out. And I know that is not how I should be thinking about it, but I know how people see locks. I don't care. I know how they see locks when they're not well maintenance, and I do care about that. And so if my hair is not done and I'm in need of a retwist, I'm gonna finesse it. It's gonna look something like this, or it's gonna be wrapped, or it's gonna look appropriate for whatever conversation or scenario or situation that I'm gonna be in. But that's the only thing that be on my heart. Yeah. That's the only thing I'd be like, ooh, I look rough.
I'm with you, like the guys, like my brother for the wedding, he had his in a little ponytail, because like the white guys got their ponytail.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't really have an issue with it. But I was like, sometimes we just know the game.
But like,
we got to do our different things.
If you know you got to go have a really important customer meeting and you ain't
use a filter, let's show you got to fade.
Let's just say it's in person. You need to be there physically in person, and you need your hair done. I'm gonna try everything in my power to get my hair done for that meeting, so that I can look the part, right? Whatever the part may be, so I can look my best.
Yeah, and I think that's where the benefit of having shorter hair comes in for a guy.
Yeah,
because push gonna shove. If you got to do something,
okay, while we cut it all off. While we here, let's talk about beards. Let's talk about facial hair. I've heard a lot of different perspectives on what should and should not happen when it comes to interviewing. So how do you interview? When you're interviewing, do you shave your face? You show up as who you are. Why or why not?
I feel like a beard is professional.
Why do you feel like
my
that?
Beard is
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying, yeah.
My beard is always maintained. It's not like too crazy. And even if it is crazy, like I've interviewed with crazy looking people. So I'm just like, like the days of just making them feel like, well, what they can do in this, like, nah, I'm like I said, I interviewed with a guy at one of the big banks and he smoked the vape the whole time.
But to me,
and I feel like I can't trust you if you don't have facial hair.
Is it bad that I feel like to some extent that's kind of like a simulation? And I don't subscribe to that.
What you mean?
Cutting your facial hair. I understand clean cut. To me, clean cut means you just got your haircut. Like you got a fresh lineup. You got a fresh lineup, fresh edge up, however y'all want to call it. That is clean cut to me. But clean cut to a lot of people means no facial hair, right? Military. Clean cut means beard only.
And that's actually...
Wait.
Mustache? I think they can wear the mustache, but see, the thing is, in the military...
Is this mustache or is this mustache?
This is the
just
mustache.
This. Yeah. What is this? Goatee?
If it
comes
so you
down,
got this, and then you got to connect it. It's like a goatee.
Okay, so. But that's not what they're talking about. Yeah. I think they're talking about the lip.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, even with that in the military, like you got to get it's crazy. You got to get an exception as a black man to have your beard.
It's not difficult, black men, because we have skin that is different.
But it is difficult for them now because they trying to say, hey, we don't care about none of that now. They literally are going to war with like they have been able to have their beards and stuff like that. It's the same thing like firemen having to go through some of this stuff or whatever. Like they have like, it should be as long as you can fit the mask, you're good. Because at the same time, you got me clean cut, I'm bumping up.
And then once you bump up, that's not an easy fix. You're already done inflamed and irritated that skin. Now you need to come up with a routine so that you can, you know what I mean? Like, bye.
Definitely. We had some good comments on here. So this guy said, where was it? He was talking about his wife. He was saying that his wife wears her hair. Where is it? Oh, here you go. My wife was applying for a senior manager role at 2 of the big 4 accounting firms, and she was nervous about her dreads. She normally wears her hair down, but he said she got the job at Deloitte with those dreads, though.
Yeah, congrats to the wifey.
And the beard is only a problem to the ones who can't grow one in most cases. I like that.
I keep a clean, dark stubble.
Always presentable. Them boys be having them Harry Potterish beards. Facial hair isn't a deal breaker in cybersecurity. This guy I work with cut his Harry Potter beard when he was up for promotion and had to do that interview. He said it will grow back. And last one is, I think they just took that back, clean cut, no more exceptions on beard. Yeah, see, so yeah, he's talking about what I was talking about. Because I got friends or people I know that's in the military, and it's like crazy. Because it's like, bro, because even like I know like my cousin, his stuff started in high school because he was at one of them Christian schools where they didn't want them to have beards, and I'm like, nah, if he got hair growing, let him get the barber to cut it every 2 weeks or whatever, because he can't use no straight razor down there like they can, because it's gonna curl up. And definitely, I know for a fact, I ain't knowing about no exfoliating down there when I was younger.
I mean, you gotta afford the exfoliating, okay?
Man, black man back in the born in the 60s didn't exfoliate. I ain't never seen my dad exfoliate. I ain't never seen my dad no type of facial routine. He ain't got no type of blemishes or whatsoever. So I just feel like it's a lot of stuff when we eat and everything else now that's breaking us out, along with the water. But that's another conversation.
Yeah.
That's right. Sikhs can have beards. Brothers need to fight for that. That's fact, man.
Wait, what is this?
And they say this is I don't look it up because I don't want to say the wrong joke.
Okay. Don't say a joke. Don't say it. I'll find it.
I was gonna bring up Haji from Johnny Quest. So I don't know. I think that's the little things they have on their head, I think.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah. Is that them with the thing on their head?
Hey, let's move on.
I'm just saying I
don't know. It didn't give me a picture. It just said what it was.
Let's let my guy feeding the dog finish.
Right. And in most cases, that is, you get your technical skills assessed first before going into that whole bit. I don't label that. I don't worry about that because I look at it this way. It wasn't for me. That role wasn't for me. These jobs that I'm applying for that I'm not getting, these are not jobs that are for me. Now, if you are in a space in the role and you feel those microaggressions and those prejudices, that's a different scenario altogether. But do not let that stop you from applying for the roles that you want. Not even ones that you feel like you're not, like that you could be qualified for. Just your dream jobs. Like, don't let the fear of prejudice and the fear of racism and the fear of all these other things that you can't control keep you from those things. So at the end of the day, especially when it comes to IT, they need people that can do the job. Like, they can't. You could only refer your friend Jared so many times before he crashes the network, because you need somebody who's qualified to do the job or who has the right thinking and who's able to explain the process and all those other things.
Yeah, so I'm with him on that. No, I still didn't know if he was feeding the dog or not. So he'll probably see this.
That's how it sounds when I'm feeding my dog.
And tell me he was feeding the dog. No, shouts out to him. I think like the other really big one I wanted to get into